Hi everybody, it's me, Tim. Today I want to give more thoughts on game marketing. And look, I exist in daytime. Thought I'd make a change. Now, I should point out I've already done a marketing video, which I'll link below. But recently I was looking at it and I realized I did not follow my own rules on how to give constructive feedback, which I did in a video which I'll also link below, where I said, if you're going to give comments and critique on something, make it constructive, make it actionable. And I realized in that marketing video, when I talked about that I've worked with marketers that I liked and marketers I didn't like, I never really gave them constructive feedback. Now, nobody on the video who watched the video said, hey, Tim, you're not following your own rules, to which I would have responded like Bender from Futurama and said, shut up, baby, I know it. But instead, I've decided to give a set of suggestions to game marketing folks. You don't have to follow any of this. This is just stuff that game marketing people did that made me like working with those game marketing folks, and I thought resulted in really good ads and trailers for games I made. So I've got 6 different suggestions. I think I've got 6. I do. I wrote them down so I remember them. The first one is probably the most important. This isn't necessarily a list that's in order, but I will say this first one is probably the most important. Marketing folks, play the game. The worst marketing I've ever had done were by people who didn't have time. I'm sorry, Tim, I just don't have time to play the game. I'm overworked. I understood that, but it resulted in the worst marketing I've had for any of my games. The best marketing I've had were from people who played the game. And by the way, if you can't play the game, either because you literally can't, you're not very good at playing games, or you don't have time to, dive into a game for 20, 30, 40 hours and play the whole game, watch someone play it. It shouldn't be hard to find someone who's playing. Walk down to QA and watch someone there play it. At the very minimum, ask for videos of playthroughs of different areas of the game with different kinds of characters. Like if it supports different builds, or if there's different endings or whatever, ask for videos and watch people play the game. So understand how the game is played before you even make a suggestion on how to market it. So that's my first suggestion. My second suggestion is to talk to the team. Now, a lot of people do talk to the directors. Usually there's one, like Outer Worlds had 2. But not just them. Try to talk to other people on the game development team. Try to talk to some of the artists. Try to talk to some of the designers. Try to talk to one of the programmers. These are people who get the game. They work on it every single day. And do not forget, this is probably even more important than talking to the director, is talk to QA. The QA people play the game every day. They're trained to give feedback. So if you've play the game yourself, or at least watch some videos of people playing the game, and then you go to QA and you're talking to them about the game, you can ask them questions about stuff you saw. You can ask them questions about what it's like, what they take away from the game, what is most memorable, why they like the game, why they may not like the game. Remember, these people are trained to give good feedback, and they give feedback on the stuff they don't like either. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to talk to you about what they like and don't like about the game. That can give you an idea of what you should highlight in the ads. And if there's stuff that people aren't liking and it's not going to be removed, stuff you may want to work around in the ad. Or, showcases like, hey, we know you don't like encumbrance, but we got it. I don't know. Actually, maybe don't take that suggestion. I'm not a marketing person. But my third suggestion, this is going to sound dumb, but try to make an ad or trailer that people actually want to see, to the point where they will seek it out. The best ads and the best game trailers I've ever seen have people who they like watching it, and then they tell their friends about it. They watch it more than once. They tell their friends and watch it with them. They go look to see if there's anything else online that they can watch about the game. Those are really good ads and game trailers. But what I've told people in the past, marketing people, is if you have to trick someone into watching a trailer or force them to watch it, if like what you're doing is buying paid time on video channels, whether it's YouTube or Hulu or whatever, where you're kind of forcing people to watch it who are trying to watch someone else, you've probably already failed. I know that if when things like that happen, that's when I check my phone. That's when I go make a sandwich. I'm the one you're trying to market towards, but you're not giving it to me when I want it. I'm not seeking you out. You're forcing me to engage. You can't force engagement from me. I react negatively to that, and so do a lot of gamers. So just think about how to make people want to watch your trailer. Now, number 4 is going to sound similar, but it's a little different. Make it easy for gamers to find and watch the ads and trailers for this game. Put it on YouTube. Put it on your website. If it's on the website for the company making the game, please make it easy to find. I can't tell you the number of times I've known that a certain company is making a game and I go to their website and I can't find it. I go to the product page, I go to the game, and the links to the ads and trailers are not there. Please make that easy to find. Work with whoever did the website and just make sure that there's a link to that game trailer. By the way, there used to be, and I couldn't find it, otherwise I would have put a link for it. Years ago, there was a really awesome website for ads, for commercial television ads. It was like an IMDb of advertisements. You could browse by the product name. You could browse by product type. You could browse by the manufacturer of the product. You could browse by the advertising company that made the ad. You could even get a list of the actors who were in the ad and then look at other ads they did. And this was an awesome, awesome site because you could use it. If you saw a really good ad, you could look it up. You could look at other ads made for that product, or you could look at other ads made by the advertising company that made it. And you may find out that, hey, it's the advertising company that made that a good ad, not the product. And also, sometimes you'd be curious about an actor you see in an ad, and you could look them up, and then you could see other ads they were in. It was brilliant. I mean, I went there looking up ads. I miss that site. I wish there was a site like that. But let me go on. That was the 4th one. Let me go on to the 5th one. Please, marketing people, I beg you, do not wait until the last minute when you need certain materials from the dev team to ask. Now, I will agree, you cannot start marketing when development of the game begins because decisions are still being made. It may not be entirely sure what's going to get nailed down and what's still going to change. But I will tell you this. By the time the game reaches vertical slice, you can get started on marketing campaigns. And if you don't know what I mean by vertical slice, 1, you should. You're not a marketer. You're a game marketer. And 2, I'll link a video below to all the different stages that games go through. And again, by the time it's reached vertical slice, it is ready for you to begin. And this is another reason why you should everybody should be encouraging the game development team to make that vertical slice as early as possible. It's not only good for the team, it's not only good for the publisher, but it's good for the marketing people too, because you can see a level of the game that looks and plays exactly like the final game will. You can play that. You can look at videos of it, and you can start planning for your marketing campaign. You will get an idea of what characters are in the game, what the main characters are, what side characters are, what they look like, what the themes of the game is, what its color scheme is. I'm not the person to ask. If someone says, hey, what's your color scheme? I'm going to go, I don't know, go talk to the lead artist. Or you can go look at the vertical slice and you will see a perfect representative example of the game, complete with the color scheme of what the game is. I guess what I'm trying to say is, as constructively as possible, do not ask for all of it the week you need it. If you're trying to put an ad together, whether it's a print ad or a trailer, please don't wait until you're actually putting it together to ask for all these things. Ask for them in advance. And as soon as the vertical slice is done, you can start asking for these things. And then the 6th one is kind of related, but when I started saying about asking for things, go ahead and ask questions. I beg you to ask questions of the development team. And you can do that throughout. You can occasionally be proactive and sit in on some of the team meetings, or sit in on a design meeting, or sit in on a strike team meeting, just to hear what it is they're making. Because I can tell you this, I get really upset if I think you're having me do your job. And the number one example of that is if you ask me what the game's demographic is, you're asking me to do your job. I don't know. I don't know what the demographics are, period. You should be able to look at the game and know what the demographic is. That's your job. If you ask me what the game's hook is, that's a good question. But when you ask, you better know what other games' hooks are in this genre. Don't ask me, if you ask me what's unique, and I say, oh, it's really reactive in the dialogue, and we've got like 20 endings. You should know that 20 different endings is unusual, and that most other games don't have 20 other endings. But there are a few other games out there that have a lot of endings. You should know all that already. It's your job. I always stress this to game marketers. You're a game marketer. You're not just a marketer. Don't make me do your job. So, I hope that marketing folks have found this to be very constructive. I sound a little forced, but let me just tell you, I've worked with some really bad marketing people. Like people that I've been so stressed out by that other people asked me if they should be fired. So that's never happened in my career where someone saw me come out of a meeting and just went, that person should be fired. It's only happened with marketing. So if you follow these 6 suggestions I have, I think you can do a really good job at marketing, and you can come up with making a really good set of ads and trailers that people will actually want to watch. So I hope that helps.